My final point is that you're 18 or 19 or 20, whatever. You don't need to figure your life out right now. You have plenty of time to do that. Today is May 10th, which means there are 19 days left until Aardvark is officially over. And because there are only 19 days, left on Aardvark and 19 days left of me living in Israel, my schedule, I was gonna say it's getting busy, but it's mostly the same. Work at 7 a.m., class at 2 p.m., sleep like kind of in between there somewhere, and then like after 4:30, party every day. Or just like hang out, chill. Just got out of class, didn't have class, got canceled, so decided to go out a little bit this afternoon, adventure around the city of Jerusalem. Let's talk about taking a gap year or a year abroad. I think it's safe to say that I know what it's like now to take a year. I've been living in a different country by myself, away from my parents, had to meet new people. I've been doing this for 9 straight months now. Hopefully you can take this as, you know, advice if you're thinking about coming on a gap year, if you're thinking about doing a year abroad somewhere. Pros, living so far away from home. And I say that's a pro because I've had the chance to live in Israel for, you know, 4 months in one city, 5 months in another. If you go high school, graduate, then go to college, like a lot of people don't have that experience, even after college, to go out on their own and live in a different country for a year. And that goes into my next pro, which is you get to travel. Being on the other side of the world, that means that the entire other side of the world is so accessible. From here to London was 4 hours. Like, the accessibility of different countries is so much different here, it's so much greater, which goes into my third pro, which is the cultural difference between here and America it's uncomparable. When people ask me how the culture is different here, the first thing I say is when I walk around, there's just an understanding. People know why they're here. They go to the army to defend the country. They live here to defend the country. And culturally, from a Jewish perspective, that's why it's so cool. to like live in Israel for the last 9 months. Another pro is that the language. Sometimes it's a con, but a lot of the times, because I don't speak the language, because I'm learning the language, like that pushes me to go outside of my comfort zone, to go up to a person and be like, hi, like, where's this or where's that? And sometimes I may not know how to say it in Hebrew. It's cool to try and push yourself outside of your comfort zone, especially when you're trying to learn a language where everybody around you speaks it other than you. The fact that I am halfway across the world, the fact that I can't go home, I see that as a pro personally, because that pushes you even more so, at least for me, that pushed me even more so out of my comfort zone. Because I have to hop on a plane 2 flights, 3 flights to get home instead of just driving 45 minutes or an hour and I'll be home. Like, that's made me have to deal with a lot of my own issues of, you know, moving out, going to college, getting older. That's helped me to build character, and that's helped me to fix issues that honestly I don't know if I would if I had the chance to run away from them. So those are all the pros, but I now want to like talk about some of the cons that come with a year abroad. To start with, obviously, if you're taking a year abroad, it probably means that you are missing a year or a semester of college. And with that, that probably means that you're not taking classes, or you're not getting credit while you're taking that year abroad. If that's the reason you don't want to leave university and travel for a semester or a year, don't let that stop you, because if you're thinking about taking a semester or a year, it's probably the only time in your life that you'll have this opportunity. Another con real quick is just, like, you can't go home. I know I mentioned that in the pros, but you know, sometimes it does suck when you need to run away. There obviously are times when you just need your space, and you know, that space could be home, but because you're living in a different country, you're living with the same kids, your own age, facing the same issues, like, that's why I see it more as a pro than a con. And then one of my biggest issues, if you're going to take a semester or a year away from university, make sure you know why you're going and what you're going for, not just why you're going. I think that concludes my pros and cons of taking a little bit of time off from university. I can't imagine myself being in college right now. I can't imagine my life any other way. Maybe that's just because I wasn't, and I definitely wasn't. Like, I 100% was not prepared for university when I finished high school. And you know, some people may think that that's an issue, and that, like, you know, you're 18, if you don't know what you're doing, like, you're fucked. But you have to look at it in an entirely different way. If you're not ready for university, that's totally fine. You're 18, you have the rest of your life to figure it out. Travel, take a year off, take a semester off. That concludes this segment. Thank you for watching.